Welcome back, more Spyro. Me, Chris, here again, and we got another special guest. We managed to find TJ. He spent all this time playing World of Warcraft, but we managed to get him off, and he's here.
Guys, I could be leveling my level 21 Zandalari Shaman right now.
Professional Twitch streamer TJ, we managed to scrounge up enough money in the budget to offset the cost of his workload, so he's been able to join us for a couple parts.
Just for you have about 20 minutes left.
Okay, so all of Treetops.
Oh god, it's Treetops! Why did you bring me back for this?
Hey man, do you want some good news? Stefan remembered Dry Canyon.
You know, it would have been better if he forgot Dry Canyon, and then he just came back to it. It would have been a great homage.
I had to keep it original. I had to do something original because this is the reboot. This is the reimagining of the Spyro 1 LP. So we gotta do some stuff different while some stuff the same. And by saying
then you should have forgot Wet Hill instead of Dry Canyon.
Wet Hill? That just sounds gross. I don't.
Wait, is this the one with the fat dragons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spyro,
What the? That's not a fat dragon.
This one went on a diet. Oh.
I went ahead and YouTube pooped all the dragons just for the fuck of it.
Oh boy.
But yeah, there are some fat dragons, I believe.
God, I hope so. I love the fat dragons. Okay.
So TJ, I had a question because I don't think you've ever said. Have you played the Reignited trilogy?
Fat dragon representation.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
What?
I heard you say something, but I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I said fat dragon representation.
So,
okay.
I was saying, have you played the Reignited trilogy?
I played a little bit of it. I mainly just introduced it to my wife, and then she took it over. So
She's like, this isn't Enter the Dragonfly. What's this bullshit? These are well-made games. Take them away.
For those of you who don't know, my wife owns 2 copies of Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
Relatable.
That still burns me up. I know it's been like years since you first told me that, but every time it comes up, I just get a little more upset than the last time.
It's just like, it wasn't that good to begin with. Like,
So
the reason she has 2 is because she thought she lost it. So she bought another one and then found the original. But it's like, it wasn't that good of a game to begin with. So was it really such a bad thing if you lost it?
They were both on the same system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got both the PS2 and GameCube version.
I had the GameCube version. I remember how broken it was. Like, I felt like Hackerman because I was able to glitch through so many walls.
And that's the better version.
Jesus.
The PS2 version runs like absolute piss.
Well, I just remember, like, there was, I think it was, like, the lightning, gate, like where you needed the lightning breath power up to be able to get through it.
Yeah.
I remember, like, if you ran like to the right of the gate, you could just walk right through it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can beat that game in like less than 5 minutes because you can just phase through that gate and then you go and you have to do the swim and air glitch and then you can go where the final boss is and then just beat it. Yeah, that game is busted.
I feel like you can even skip a few steps there and just ground pound the portal a certain way and just instantly go to the final boss.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can do that too.
You know how else you can beat the game?
Turn it off.
Just break the disc.
Oh,
That's with a hammer. Oh, that was a good time-saving skip there.
Yeah, the Treetops in this game is probably a bit harder than the original, just because they changed up the way the boost pads work.
Boost
there's a
stacks.
fat guy.
Yes, fat dragon. Treetops.
BooStacks just uncaved like the crustiest, moldiest memory in my head. We're so old. All I'm doing is being like, man, I remember TJ.
Welcome to the treetops.
That was like one of the first things that I made Chris insecure about, was that the video he made for the FTCR stream about
Sonic 3 remaster Sega, please make it stream.
yeah. And he said BooStacks. And he said it in such a like audibly pleasing way that I was like, I love that video, and Chris was like, why the fuck are you watching things I do?
Oh, I remember that. I'm trying to remember who. Yeah, because you said something else in that video. Oh no, it was I think it was how you said you. God damn it, who was it?
It was Kobe.
Yeah, it was
Kobe.
Like, you were like,
he was like
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
That's how you. So I remember I would watch that so many times over again. I'm like that cracked me up so much.
This video should just be called, "Hey, remember FTCR? FTCR remembers."
Yeah, here's our first LP since Gareth left. Do you remember FTCR? We don't.
No.
Nope.
It's just complete shamble of a channel now. Man, remember old YouTube and Colbert 456? I don't.
Hey, do you guys remember downvoting?
Do you guys remember
I do.
5-star ratings?
Do you remember the adpocalypse?
Jesus.
My wallet does, I'll tell you that much.
Subscribe to our patreon.com/Patreon/testoff.
Tistoff.
I thought he was going to say tetanus.
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen. Oh boy.
I feel like Stefan is doing a better job than we did.
Oh, absolutely, no.
Well, slightly, but it's all. I'm not doing that much better because yeah, treetops in this game in this version is pretty hard because the way the boost works is that you have to get like a good amount of running before you can actually like get off at a good speed. Like it isn't immediate, so these jumps are very tight.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone back and looked at what we were talking about in treetops.
Guy Fieri and
Yeah, that's all.
and
Well, yeah, because it was
implying
like,
that-
welcome to treetops.
and implying that one of the dragons was like midway through ordering mashed potatoes or something and green beans.
Jelly bean.
We were fat shaming, but it's okay because we were all pretty hefty boys.
It was like, I remember what it was because we always skipped the dragons.
Oh
yeah. And you were just like, it sounded like that one was just like jelly bean.
jelly bean, mashed potato.
Or just go. Hoot! Hoot!
Why do people
You can't
watch
really
this?
do that. You can't really cut them off like that in this game because they're all like properly animated and properly voice acted, not just.
Well, that's why
not
this
just
one's not as
pooped out.
good.
I mean, I did kind of say that. I kind of prefer the terribleness, so to speak, of the original dragons over the the higher quality production values of this game. This game's dragons.
Wow.
It's all nostalgia, really.
God, this hurts to watch, but mostly because I'm like reliving a horror.
Oh god, I remember this part. Every time you fell, we were like, welcome to treetops.
I
almost.
saved myself.
Oh god.
This is one of those levels that, like, every time I play Spyro 1, I'm like, you know what? I should really just, like, learn this level and play it through a few times and, like, commit it to memory just to help me out in the future. Never fucking do. Never,
Well, I mean,
ever.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, it's not that hard to kind of figure out and remember, because, like, I know what I'm supposed to do, it just keeps getting screwed over. Because, like, I keep dying, and I'm going to keep getting to the jump, and it just keeps missing. So it's like, I know what I'm supposed to do, it's not working, so... So that's why it's like it's a weird thing. Yeah, because I think someone mentioned I think we mentioned this in another part where we were like treetops might be the hardest single Spyro level. Like there are harder missions in other Spyro games, but this is probably the hardest single level.
Huh. That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, because like I mean, like
Because there was that one level where Chris hypothesized that it would take
no.
us, and I quote,
Not this
upwards of, and I quote, 90 minutes to complete.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You learned
Look,
a
TJ,
lot
it's the
since you
Jelly
were a
Bean
young
Dragon.
rider.
Be distracted from what you're
Well,
saying.
You could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
God.
I like how he talks with a Cajun accent. Jesus.
they all died. What was the level you said that was gonna take like 90 minutes?
It was the one with the guns.
The ones with the
Oh
guns.
shit, Twilight Harbor. Yeah, Twilight Harbor. Yeah, since spoiler alert, the whole of Nasty's world is the final part of this. It was much shorter than I remembered.
Yeah, I understand that feeling. Trust me.
Oh my god. That was the best. Because Chris was just like, it was one of those things where like, we were getting so tired. And we were just like, how much longer do we have? And Chris was like, whoa, this last world's pretty rough. And this first level takes upwards of about 90 minutes to complete. And we were like, Jesus.
There's another effect too of I don't know if it's just me or if it was like actually like the lighting in Gareth's basement or something, but it would just like give me like migraines or headaches after like an hour or two of being down there.
You know
So,
what?
like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Right? Like I could never place it, but every time I'd like be down there or we'd be going into the night, I'd be like, man, I just don't want to be down here anymore. Like, why do I feel like this? And
You know
eventually
what?
it hit me, like it had to be that basement.
Maybe it was the lights.
I really think it was the lights. It's a weird, like, long horizontal strip with a weird cover-up thing. Plate.
Yeah. That makes a
So,
lot
like-
of sense now that you said that.
So, like, that compounded with me being like, oh, yeah, I mean, this level with the gun, probably like 90 minutes. It was like, oh, no. And then I get there, and the good thing happened. Everyone should have been thanking me for doing it so well. There's never been a better playthrough of that level, I'll tell you. It's beautiful. The best one there's ever been. But no,
Colorful.
everyone makes fun of me. Also, the level map looks like a robot holding up a fist in a I'll get you one day gadget kind of way.
It really does. It really does.
I hope that was intentional. 'cause, like,
Subscribe
it's
for
cool.
more.
I didn't
insights.
realize what that was when we were in treetops, but because the map is so segmented, I was just like, what are those weird runes over there?
Yeah, because it's just a bunch of little islands. Yeah, even when I have the map open, I barely ever pay attention to it because I'm like, well, because I never use the maps in the original. I think I just put the maps up here just for LP sake, but I never use the maps because I'm like, I know these levels like the back of my head, except when I don't.
Yeah.
Nah, you got hit by bananas.
My bananas.
Bananas.
Mode change.
Oh,
Sadiki.
Metalhead is all charged up to meet you.
It's another fat dragon, yes!
Disrupt his power supply.
Yeah, all the dragons in Beastmakers are fat.
Not all of
Spyro
them.
is
That
that.
first
Oh,
one,
that's
that
true,
first
that
one
fir-
was a
yeah.
tease.
There are more. There are more. Yeah, there are more variety of the type of dragons in each of the worlds compared to.
I like how-
yeah,
I like how the fat dragons are in Peacemakers.
yeah. Well, it's because there's it's the swamp world and then the war world.
swoop.
So it's like the big and tough dragons. And
I
then
will
you have,
say,
like,
the design of the dragons was pretty great in this. I was pretty happy with it.
yeah, like I do appreciate them like going full on giving them like full each of the dragons full character. It's just like that might hold nostalgia of feeling like, oh, there's something charming about those very crappy 32-bit models.
That was
Also, I screwed up because there's a trophy for beating Metalhead without getting hit, and I got hit. So
Stefan, how are you going to brag
Eh.
now?
actually, no, it's not a trophy; it's a skill point because they add skill points in this game.
You eat just like Ratchet or Clank. Stefan, do you ever look up at the sky and say that was Ratchet or Clank's home planet?
Sometimes.
I forgot about
Sometimes
that
I
one
look up and I'm like, I wish I was Ratchet and Clank.
I like how I'm just like bringing back all these memories for Chris.
too. Man, people who watch maybe don't understand, but we come into these things and we say them, and then like 5 minutes after we do it, I forget everything I said. So every time TJ says something, I'm like, oh no.
He remembers.
Why does he remember and I don't? TJ, do you watch them? I know sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I put our stuff on while at work or something, and me and Gareth were like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, why the... What would you do that for?
What'd you do that? I can't do an accent. How am I doing this?
No, I do that. I do that all. Like I would watch. I would put on a whole bunch. Well, I wouldn't put on my videos because I can't stand listening to my voice. But I'll listen to all you guys' videos.
I haven't watched anything lately. I've been watching a lot of
Pretty
like
good
I'll
cooking.
listen to a bunch of WoW content while I work. That or music. And but I did used to, I think the last thing I watched was I watched the whole of Rayman 2.
Ah, that's a good one.
Still haven't watched that one. I won't lie. I should probably watch that one. Just to know
You
what
should,
the fuck
because
is on
there's
this channel.
the whole bit about Darth Vader being made of bees. It's just pure gold.
Okay, I might have to
It has some of David and Miwa's best of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Was it the best thing? Or was it David David talking about his the story about like he had this long-winded story and then she just ends about like what a fucking waste of time.
Yes.
And that's just how they end the part.
I think it was when he went to the Big Mac museum.
Wait. What?
Yeah, apparently he loves Big Macs a lot. And I guess he went to the Big Mac museum.
Google Chrome, new tab, Big Mac Museum. North Huntingdon, Pennsylvania? David. That's a drive for him.
I know what
It's
we
not
need
like
to
he's
do.
never done. For God's sakes, Chris, he came to too many games.
Well, that's at least a convention with people. Every photo of this thing is just the same burger statue. in the
Did
corner.
he even go to the convention, or did he just go there to tell us the whole?
Did he just go there to get drunk?
No,
he didn't go to the convention. He was just at the hotel and got drunk in our room, and I had to watch over him.
Oh my
Honestly,
God!
that's the
No,
way
I'm
to go,
the He told us the Danica Patrick story.
Yes.
Oh, right. I remember having to leave during that one. I was just like, I'm going to bed.
Like he told the whole saga of David Gonterman.
I remember
what-
that.
Yeah.
Although no, didn't he tell us that in Detroit when we met him?
He
he
says it
he
at
did
the
it
drop
both-
of a hat.
He did it both times because I remember you guys mentioned it because I was there in Detroit, but I wasn't with you guys, and you guys mentioned you did that all night, and then at TMG he also did that when I was there.
Oh, great!
So he did it both times.
Literally just toss a quarter at him and he'll do it for you. Like, it's... Oh, God.
Ah, nickel. No, but dancing all week.
Yar!
Yeah, man.
A
Persona
quarter.
6
He'll be
all week.
dancing for hours. So surprisingly, I'm like way better at these in the Reignited trilogy than I was in the originals.
I've never been good at the flying stages. It's all because so much of it is pattern and timing, and I'm not.
And
good
I
at
can't
that.
recognize either. I'm a
took me some-
toddler.
It took me some time to get used to controls, but I think... I don't want to say anything and shoot myself in the foot next time I play, but I think all in all, I do have a better go with these stages than the original.
Yeah, and also the patterns being different, so it's like you can't really use your experience with the old game to help you. You just kind of have to wing it. I think this one, a lot of the later ones ended up taking me a lot of tries, and this one's the good try.
I will say I haven't done this one, so I could just be talking out of my ass. But the The other ones I was able to do.
Like I remember the one in the second world. That one took me a lot. That one took me much harder than I was expecting. So it's like
It took you much harder.
It took me much harder than I was planning to hard.
Stop
No.
it. Save it for Alpha
Oh.
Mike talk. Jesus.
I don't know how to word properly.
It took me much harder.
Once I found the secret fairy. Oh.
No,
That's a
that's
skill
in the
point.
next world. That's in the next world.
Stefan, you got a
It
lot
just
accomplished in
reminded
this
me-
one part. Fuck you, TJ. Okay, you can speak.
I saw this post the other day. You guys ever seen those posts where somebody like shares a picture of an inanimate object and someone refers to it as like forbidden whatever food it looks like?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes just to see where you go on this one.
Well, I guess somebody shared. I can't remember what they referred to it as, but it was like there's some sort of like deep underground like cavern with a lake that like hasn't been touched by like humans. Like they were able to like find it with a camera or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a body of water. I don't know how big it is, but like obviously it's like never been touched by humans. And someone was like, who dares drink the forbidden apple juice?
I drink the forbidden apple juice.
Now that picture is online, someone's gonna go out of their way to go there, just to, like put their toe in it or something.
I don't know if you can like actually get to it
I'll
because
find a way.
it's like deep in a cave.
I'll find a way.
Yeah, you
Lit.
will.
Lit.
Let me get deep in that cave. It got at me all hard.